Alright, so what we got set up here is we've got a stuffed rattlesnake over here that's on a piece of fishing line, and we're going to control that from upstairs in the window. And we got this raccoon, this stuffed raccoon. We were wondering if the raccoons would pay any attention to it whatsoever, and we're going to speed this up. You notice the raccoon just walks up, starts eating, and kind of is not trying to take over the space of the stuffed raccoon there at first, but you watch, he just keeps getting moving over and over and pressing up against him, and pretty soon he's just kind of all on top of this stuffed raccoon, and eventually ends up just like sitting on him like he's an armchair while he's eating. Alright, so at this point we decide to move the snake, and you can see the raccoon is like not sure what's going on. He's also looking upstairs because, again, I got a fishing pole sticking out of the upstairs window. So between the snake and the fishing pole moving around, he's kind of got a little bit of divided attention. But again, it's going over. He kind of smells the snake, decides it's not that big of a threat because he goes right back to eating and kind of ignoring the snake. However, you'll see here when we start touching the raccoon with the snake, he's not real keen on that. So we can see we move the snake back over here towards where he's eating a little bit. Again, it's not real concerned. Just goes back to eating, and some noise from upstairs. Probably me hitting the fishing pole on the side of the window scares him off, and he runs away. So he's back. When the snake moves, he kind of pays attention to that, but and he's also looking at the fishing pole up there at the window. But for the most part, he's just trying to eat. When the snake lands on him, whaps him in the face, jumps on his back. He's not real happy about it, but again, not enough to stop eating. And you can see we press on the side. We can kind of move him from left to right. But again, just main concern is eating the cat kibble out of that bowl. And finally, he goes off screen there. Now, I believe this is a different raccoon. This is one that Winch Laureus calls Patch. He's got a V-shaped, or upside-down V-shape from this view, scar on his back where he's got some white hairs. It looks like he may have gotten injured previously. And he's coming over. We got some rib bones and some kibble in that bowl there. They're mostly eating the cat kibble. And at first he's kind of paying attention. He wants to move around to where he can kind of see what's going on through the sliding glass doors, and the snake moves, and again, he's not real concerned with it. More concerned with with the fishing pole sticking out of the upstairs window. So now we got two raccoons. And the snake starts to move. The one raccoon is kind of concerned about that. He has not seen that before. The other raccoon has seen it before, but again, just isn't concerned enough with it to stop eating. Although you can still see he's kind of avoiding it touching him. Doesn't seem to be real thrilled about that. But that will change. So the other raccoon finally comes back in. He's like, well, the raccoon is getting beat up by the snake. Apparently isn't getting too damaged, so I'm going to come in and I'm going to try to eat. Although he seems pretty wary of the snake. You see, this raccoon's getting to the point where even when it's bapping him in the nose, he doesn't even flinch anymore. He's not trying to avoid his touch. It's hitting him on the side, and it's wrapping around him. He just no longer cares at all. Now, the raccoon that has not had a lot of contact time with the snake's kind of able to scare him away. So at this point, we kind of speed this up just to show you how much abuse we tried to subject these raccoons to, with the snake trying to squeeze around them, encompassing them, bapping them in the head, and just no effect whatsoever for the most part. They just don't care after a while. And at this point, I'm kind of getting tired of trying to annoy this raccoon with no to little effect. So the raccoon is starting to pay attention because there's another raccoon coming up. There's a couple raccoons coming up. And again, we're kind of, the new raccoons, we can kind of, we try to touch them and stuff, they move away. Again, I got this on high speed so that it doesn't take forever to show you all this footage. But, and then they get to the point where they're a little bit more comfortable with it. This raccoon here is not sure what's going on. We end up bopping him in the butt, and he just like hightails it down over the side of the deck, and sticks his head back up to kind of look at what's going on with the snake. So again, when they first encounter it, they're kind of cautious. After that, they pay no attention. We get a little raccoon scuffle there, but the raccoons, even in the scuffling, just totally ignore the snake. Our stuffed raccoon is face down in the bird seed, and we decided to go rescue him because it rained, I think, earlier, and the raccoons were a little wet, and the stuffed animal just got wet and wasn't doing any good, was providing no entertainment value, so we just got rid of him. Again, you can see this here's a newer raccoon that has not seen the snake before, and is very wary of it moving around, so we're able to scare that raccoon. But they'll keep coming back because they really want that cat kibble and the bird seed and the corn and stuff. So they're willing to brave the snake and come back and get some cat kibble. So now we got another raccoon coming up, and another raccoon, and since they've all got their bowls of food there, the corn and the kibble and the bird seed, they kind of decide to coexist for a little while. And then eventually something weird here happens. And we actually saw this behavior twice. We only got it on camera once because a raccoon or something had kind of disconnected the power cord from the wall, and the camera was not on when we thought it was on the second time it happened. But for some reason, this raccoon that's eating the corn is going to stop, and he's just going to run over, grab that rattlesnake by the tail, and just take off running like a bat out of hell with this stuffed rattlesnake. We have no idea why. So there he is. He just turns around, grabs the snake, takes off running. Everybody else goes running because he makes a loud racket and stuff. Because when he gets over to underneath the patio chair there off on the left hand side, remember this is tied to a piece of fishing line, so it ends up coming to a stop. You know, and the raccoon's not able to run off with it totally. Again, have no idea what that was all about, but they did it again. We were actually watching when they did it. Raccoons were just sitting there eating, and all of a sudden one grabbed the rattlesnake. The second time they grabbed it by the head and took off running up underneath the the patio set over there, and again made a huge racket as the line went taut. They weren't able to go any further. Totally bizarre. So again, we just saw a couple raccoons there. One was not familiar with the rattlesnake, and we were able to scare him away, and the other one is much more familiar with it and just doesn't care. At that point, the one raccoon chases the other raccoon off, makes a little bit of a ruckus. And you can see that raccoon is trying to sneak up, and the kibble is gone. They seem to fight a lot more when the kibble bowl is empty than any other time. So once the kibble's gone and they're down to birdseed or corn, they tend to be a lot more protective of what they're doing. So at any rate, that's our rattlesnakes attacking raccoons. Hopefully y'all enjoyed it.